We are on you, sir. So please let everybody hear you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm by name Abakanu. I'm from KWARA State Environmental Agency.
Okay, Environmental Protection Agency. All right, you are very welcome. Yes, madam.
I'm from Ministry of Business Innovation and Technology.
Okay, madam, you are very welcome too. Yes, sir. Okay, a farmer from Barutin. I've been to your place, and your people are very calm. All right, nice to have you here. Yes, over to you, sir.
I'm from True Organic Initiative.
All right, you are welcome to. Yes, over to you.
I'm Dean from Fulfilling Dreams Foundation.
Okay, Fulfilling Dreams Foundation, FDF. Okay, so we're going to be. I think we just have a. Please let's check if it is the same thing all along. So one should be here. Okay, so please, I will read, and please let us just follow along. I want to.
I'm sorry, we are sorry for disturbance. Your time allocated for this thing is 1 hour.
1 hour, okay.
42. So 42.
Okay.
Then you can now harmonize it.
Okay, please record for us. Yes, sir. You will record for us. Who is from Ministry of Communication? Oh, fantastic. So you will be recording for us. Please. Thank you very much. Yes. No, documentation, I mean. Yes, documentation, so that we can keep track of what our engagement. Okay. So please let us read along as we go. So first we are treating strengthening food systems resilience and rural livelihood security in KWARA State. That is it carries the abbreviation SFS. I think there's an abbreviation there. Can somebody help me if you can see that FSF in the question? Okay. Okay, FSFRS is actually in this material. Yes. So in case we come across FSFRS, they're basically referring to strengthening food system resilience and rural livelihood security in KWARA State. Food system in KWARA State is increasingly under pressure from climate variability, economic instability, and social conflict. Evidence from the Palm Trees Project shows that the food system in KWARA State are under severe stress, with 74% of household experience food insecurity. 74% household experience food insecurity in KWARA State. Climate shocks, weak value chains, and limited market access are reducing agricultural productivity, increasing food prices, and undermining rural livelihoods. Climate shocks, particularly drought and flooding, disrupt agricultural production, while weak value chains, post-harvest losses, and limited market access further undermine food availability and affordability. In addition, farmer-pastoralist conflicts exacerbate these challenges by disrupting production and resource access. Without urgent action, which we want to deliberate on now, these trends will deepen poverty, increase social instability, and weaken the state's economic base. This policy brief draws on Palm Trees findings and relevant literature to propose a transition towards integrated climate-resilient food systems that address production, processing, storage, distribution, and access. This brief also calls for a significant wide transformation of food systems, including climate resilience agricultural production, investment in storage and processing infrastructure, strengthening market systems, and integrating social protection. Before we proceed, I want to call our attention.
I misplaced my phone. I don't know.
Please call your phone.
The phone that was there. One of your colleagues said it.
It should be that.
So, moving forward, I believe that this is very explicit, but I want to draw our attention on one of the drivers of food insecurity that was sparingly mentioned here, which is the social conflict. And if we look at KWARA State very well, we understand that it's unfortunate that in recent times we are having the issue of social conflict, as majority of our local communities where food are grown are being fled by the dwellers. All right? So, and we already know that record has shown that the highest percentage of food consumed by people in the rural community are grown by smallholder farmers. So, I don't know if we can pick what I'm saying. So, if they are displaced and it's not well, explained here, it will still be a failure, because if we focus solely on just climate and environmental factors, it means that who will power it, who will move it when there's nobody in these communities. I hope we're on the same page altogether. So please let us pay attention to that. Now, the methodology, which we may not really dwell so much on, because that was what was used to carry out the entire project. It says that this policy brief is grounded in finding the palm tree project conducted in KWARA State, which adopt a mixed method, transdisciplinary research approach. The study integrated physical climate analysis with food system and livelihood assessment. Physical analysis involved satellite data imagery, climate data set, and drought indicators to assess climate variability and its impact on agricultural production. The social science component engaged over 900 respondents across more than 500 communities. In the middle of the night, I was going through this brief, and my attention was on the communities, 500 communities and 900 respondents. So I was thinking that if they have 2 respondents from each of those 500 communities, it means that it is going to be 1,000 respondents altogether. So how then, if we have 500 communities engaged and then 900 respondents, that means that minimum of 1 person per community and less than 2. I hope you understand, because once it is up to 2 times 500, that's 1,000 already, which is more than what is recorded here. So I think we equally need to probably ask questions about that, which I already did. However, there is still room to ask further questions on that. Okay? Using surveys, focus group discussions, and again, that also is a question. That is it possible that, for instance, we all know Fatih, Abi, that we just pick just only 1 person there for a sample, something. Is it a sample for our questionnaire? I don't know if we are on the same page. You will see that you cannot get anything, okay? So we really need to ask questions on that, okay? The social science, okay, fine. The participatory assessment, this method provide detailed insight into food security conditions, income sources, production systems, and coping strategies. The study also employed integrated data analysis linking climate risk with food systems dynamics, including production, market access, and household consumption patterns. This enables a comprehensive understanding of how climate and socio-economic factors interact to influence food security. This policy brief synthesizes these empirical findings and complements them with national and global literature to develop relevant policy recommendations. All right? We are done with this. Why it is important to actually ask those questions as relating to the respondents is because every data that was collected was used in the entire policy formulations or recommendation. So how can we say that only 1 person represents an entire community according to what we have here? So I don't want to be the only one that's ask the question from one person and so let everybody also have access to that information. So let me quickly rush through this. Policy context.
Sorry, because of time, we have less than 10 minutes on this paper. So I was
Okay.
maybe we'll go and look at the recommendation. Because it's
The recommendation,
already taking 20 minutes out of 30.
so yeah, that is true, but I'm just wondering that if we not have to be coming back.
The point is, the work has been done. Either the size of the correspondence or whatever, we have question around that, we can do that during the Q&A. But since we have to look at, criticize the policy that have been formulated, I think we should pay attention to their recommendation and policy implication at the back, and make suggestion that necessary. Otherwise, you just come and tell us the time is up. So we have 10 minutes to go.
Okay.
This one.
If we look at
Yes.
If we look at the document here, we have the key issue evidence, we have the policy implications, we have the priority policy recommendations, okay? And we have promote climate, okay, I think these are their recommendations. So, okay, let's look at the questions. Please, I hope these things are on record already. Please, help us document. Social protection.
On your program sheet. The question are there on the program sheet. Yes.
Yes. So, for right, social protection, food system, and livelihood resilience. Is that all what we have in the question here? Please confirm.
That's what is there.
That's what is there. Okay. So we have policy brief cover, policy brief 6, policy brief 6.
No, this is 7.
Is this 7?
This is 7. Look at the top. Policy number 7. Do 7. Just time is going, please.
Wait.
This is
For 7. Okay, 7 is right under it. So strengthening food system resilience and rural livelihood security in KWARA State. So can we look at what we already have?
So I think discussion question. Let's look at the discussion question. Question 1.
What are the major problems affecting food security and livelihood in vulnerable communities? So this is where we're going to be talking. What are the major problems affecting food security and livelihood in vulnerable communities? We already said that already. Talking about the social the social conflict, right? Though this project was conducted about 2 years ago, if I'm not wrong, 2024, and we are yet to have these escalated security issues as of that time. Okay, so but if we are to look back as of that time, since we don't have this escalated issue, maybe we will not include the social conflict. But if we are putting it side by side with what we have presently, social conflict will be a major thing. So, as of that time, what are the major challenges? What are the problems affecting food security?
As of that time, what I'm thinking is a climate issue. That is the rainfall. In some part of the country, in part of the states, there are some places that having insufficient rainfall at that time. So I think those are the one of the major.
So erratic rainfall. Personally, it affected my farm. That was 2024. Farmers were actually practically praying. There are mosques conducting and churches conducting prayers. Abi?
Yes.
So that is number one, erratic rainfall. All right? So what other thing? From that time, we have been having farmers other clash. Yes, we've been having farmers other clash because that's one of the major things that affects me apart from the droughts. We have a very terrible drought as of that time. So we have farmers other clash. So even to those that are cassava cultivators, these guys will uproot it and then pieces this for their cattle. So that is a major challenge that is also driving food insecurity for vulnerable communities. Any other point?
Land scarcity.
Land scarcity, thank you very much. Land scarcity. Let me say a little about that. This study that was conducted, I think, according to the presentations, it was to grassroots people, okay? And these are indigenous community owners. But I want to say that we have many farmers, including youth in agriculture, that they don't have access to land. Some people are not even in this state, so they lease their farm land to farm. So this category of people cannot collect seedlings to plant trees on such land. I hope we are getting the point. So meaning that this category are not captured in this kind of a study. Thank you very much. Okay? So land scarcity, right? Good. And it's not like there is no land. It's just safe land to farm.
Secondly, I want to add to what you said.
Yeah.
The issue that comes about this land scarcity is due to these chemicals. You know, before, when you acquired 1 acre of land and you are supposed to own it by hand, you could not, how many are you going to do? Mm-hmm. But due to the help of these chemicals, you can collect about 20 acres.
Okay.
And you can take chemicals and make sure you spray your things. So those chemicals that we have with the help of them make the land scarcity. Because you see somebody can occupy like 50 acres of land.
Okay. That's...
And by the help of chemical, you can go to do everything.
But
requesting for more.
But can that be a threat to food security? Because it will equally produce according to the land we acquire.
I'm just adding to what you said.
Okay.
Land scarcity.
Okay. Cool. Let's move to the next question, if that has been satisfied. Do we have anything from that corner, madam?
No, sir.
All right. Any other contribution? Okay, you're part of this group, sir?
Yeah.
Good. What's the name, sir?
I'm Manuel.
From which
I'm a PhD student at
Unilag?
part of it.
All right. Thank you. You're welcome. So the next question: how can government programs better support poor and vulnerable households during climate-related shocks? We want more response from this side this time. So ladies first. How can government programs better support poor and vulnerable households? Let us maximize our time. How can government programs better support poor and vulnerable households during climate-related shocks? Maybe I should brush us up on a few things. Part of government interventions are KWARA NG Cares program, where there are cash handouts to people, where there are financial support for SMEs, where there are farm inputs for farmers. At least that's what took me to Baruti that year, and Patigi, where we distribute fertilizers to rice and soybeans farmers. Okay? So, but that being said, I believe that we already have an idea of what this question is addressing. So how can government programs better support? Let's look at that question. It's not just support, better, that is an improved system. Programs better support poor and vulnerable households during climate-related shocks. Mr. Laide?
Right. Okay. So,
You have something to say?
Okay.
Provision of food assistance during emergency.
Provision of food assistance
During emergency.
during emergencies to poor and vulnerable households. Has there been anything like that in the state already?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we say something like the rice palliative
Yes.
that time?
Relative to different
Communities, okay,
Government made provision of that.
for logistics and whatever.
Yes.
Okay. So if we are to better that system, what should the government do? I think those that I don't know how many people are there.
Like the way it was implemented the other time, the community, the NGO, Another partner, they will allocate the food, then they give them transport. So I think with what KWARA implemented in terms of distribution of food, is still okay because the resources actually go to the community head, and then you follow up to that local government and see how it was distributed. So in terms of supporting this thing, I think distribution of rice, that method is still the best.
Shouldn't be just rice. Okay.
Because they came to the town,
Yeah.
and transportation was supported, and then you follow to
And we
distribute
travel to the
community.
outskirts of the
So,
communities.
and the same model
That's a
was
fantastic
used
one.
for the fertilizer. So,
Okay, I
any
think-
other contribution?
Also, I think there is solar digging of boreholes to the farmers. More especially those who are farming near the rivers. During the dry season, I think there's some solar boreholes.
No, solar pump, sir.
Eh?
No, bro, solar pump.
It's pump. It's borehole. If you reach here, you will see it live. Because in like almost 3 years now, in those areas, they are doing dry season farming by making of this borehole.
Yes, the point is now two. The point is two. Provision of solar borehole, then provision of solar pumping machine.
that can pump from the rivers.
Solar powered water for the people.
The people in the 3 local government that are connected to River Niger, they don't need borehole. The water is always there.
They need borehole during the dry season.
Not all of them.
It's almost all of them. Because there's water in the river. You know, during the dry season, the water is in the main river. You cannot find the water where they are doing the rice farming. I think you get what I'm saying. So it is when you have either the engine that will pump the water to the farm, or you have solar borehole that we can use to doing the rice processing.
So because of time, it's two recommendations there. Provision of solar power borehole, then provision of solar power pumping machine, so that we can move on. Any other contribution on that?
Okay.
And training of farmers on modern farming techniques.
On irrigation.
Modern farming techniques, irrigation. I want to say that this question in particular does not just focus on farmers. Because they just sit here, and that is why from where we started,
Yes.
we say that distribution of food. So that is not just for farmers. You say that how can government program better support poor and vulnerable households during climate shock? Climate shock affect everybody. So if that is for farmers, and the first is for like the general public, is there any other addition to that? Is there any other addition to that?
Relief
Can we give
materials
them grants?
aside the
Relief materials.
Yes, grants to do some businesses to
like
to
clothes,
overcome.
mattresses, all those stuff.
Some apartment for some people, at least, maybe an estate. There was a time they even made a rent of an estate for them to stay for a while.
And that is for internally displaced persons. Okay. Yes, I think that happens in Shonga area. Those that are familiar with Shonga very well. Once the flood comes, it sweeps everywhere and they have to move away. So, okay, I think we have been able to address that. Is somebody recording that? Okay, now the next is what can be done to improve food production, household income, and livelihood opportunities. What can be done to improve food production, household income, and livelihood opportunities? So this carries everything, addressing both the farmers and the communities. So,
I guess that's what we discussed earlier.
Yes.
Because what we can do is to look at out of the 4 points made earlier, we separate the two that are general for people in terms of
Distribution of
distribution of
fertilizers,
relief material. Now in this context now,
Fertilizer can
fertilizer, the
distribute
solar
cells,
pumping machine,
even the
borehole,
seeds.
in clusters.
that they will plant should be distributed to release them.
I believe that is also on record. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Grace Olokori, I'm one of the researchers on the team.
Yes, ma'am.
As much as we advocate for climate adaptation, let's play down on chemical fertilizers. All over the world now, the UNFPA is advocating that we go back to organic farming. Because the evil that the fertilizers brought to us all over the world is much now. And if you have been following the trend of even UNEP, the advocacy now is that let's go back to the organic farming. And you know that's where we are coming from, Africa. Before they came and they sold error to us. Look at even the breastfeeding, that's what our mothers were doing.
For 3 years.
But later they came, they brought all those all the Cerelac and Malalac, all the lacs, they brought them to us. And now they are going back to it, and they said now compulsorily we must even give 6 months.
Exclusive.
So it means that nothing was wrong with what our fathers handed over to us. So we must awake now and celebrate our native intelligence, our cultural capital. So as we are working on the policy, let's downplay on chemical fertilizer and see the ingenuity that can come from organic farming. In one of the trainings we did, we trained them on the organic manure, 10 days, and they can also use it for insecticide at the same time. So I need to inject this to us so that it won't be that our policy makers here also pay government should. So, and over the years that the government have been funding fertilizer, how many of it are even getting to the real farmers? Apart from the one we are using political angle to do. So that's just my comment. Thank you very much. I celebrate all of us in this thing.
All right, thank you very much. You just spoke my mind.
So, Alaja, for record, ma, I'm Olaidola.
All right.
Through organic initiative, before 2020, we have 7 products good for livestock and crop farming. And through SUPIA program from Action Aid, we will be informing government in terms of adopt organic-based input. So I think in part of our comment, we'll just be laying emphasis
on organic input.
Not just give them input, support
and
input.
Then the idea that you have done it before, that can be a basis of the argument. That Action Aid help us also here to do this. So let's move from experimentation and scale it up.
All right.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
So in the recommendation, any input, put organic in the front.
Organic inputs, organic farming input. Okay. That being said, let's not overbeat that because we still have many things to treat. So that is basically for agriculture, Abi. So what about household income? How can we improve household income? I want to suggest that the government should establish local market squares in this community. Local market square where people can trade organic products. They can trade, among smallholder farmers.
And also to build stores like silos and everything where all those farmers can.
Storage facility.
That you not
Okay.
sell in distress.
Okay, because of post-harvest laws and all this. Okay. So is that taken? All right. So now moving ahead to livelihood opportunities. Livelihood opportunities. I think part of what can be done is also to bring interventions such as conversion of farm biomass into the likes of briquettes, into the likes of other valuable materials that can be utilized locally instead of having all this thing, still increase, the likes of methane and CO2 through open burning and the likes. That is one of what I think can actually bring about livelihood opportunities. Which other ones? Or what do we really understand by livelihood opportunities?
They should encourage them to in village savings, that they will have these contribution group from there they'll be able to save their savings, and if the time comes for one particular farm, that will enable them to have something more loan when it comes to the farming season. So village savings and loan or something like that.
Now there are also the
kind of cooperative at the moment. Just like kind of a cooperative that will serve as a kind of economic buffer for them. Okay, over to you.
I would like to say this. agricultural infrastructure. Because going to most of the villages, I've been opportune through this research to follow this into most of the villages. Government should try to fix, infrastructure, road infrastructure, storage infrastructure, including the extension officers. They are still part of the infrastructure. So if government can scale up on this, I think it will improve the livelihood of not just the farmers alone, both those that are residents in those key agrarian communities. So that's just my little.
And that is a key point, because I was able to speak with about two extension agents, and I discovered that as skillful as some of them are, they are still not having the necessary tools to work with. They go into the deep of the grassroots, to work, and sometimes there is no logistic for transport, or there is no proper arrangement. The roads are bad and all that. So I think that is also very key to what we are working on. Whoever is a house owner, a family owner who is an extension agent, should be able to enjoy the work and be able to have a good livelihood. So have we been able to make such justice to that question? Have we?
For the intervention.
Which intervention?
So we have, I think, from intervention, Madam talk about savings in their cooperative.
That is local cooperative. Wait, is that just for the farmers or community?
Not for the livelihood. We are renting the livelihood. So,
okay.
Existing cooperative, they should be contributing something as saving. It will help them, because if you get there, they need 15,000. They need 15,000. Already have 10,000. Somebody can add that 5,000. So village savings and loan. Let's say. So the agricultural intervention, all this ramp that government is doing, they are buying Okada for the extension agent. They need to do more about it. So I think ramp also is there. I saw the office photo of KWARA Library. This intervention from World Bank to do rural road, all those things, intentionality and implementation.
You have 10 minutes left for this.
So,
30 minutes. So the last question: what practical actions should government and stakeholders take to strengthen food systems and social protection program? Security of lives and properties. Security of lives and properties, right? In a time like this, is it advisable to say the government should discourage importation of foods?
Exactly.
What we can produce locally. I think we were able to achieve that during the era of rice, during Buhari.
Well, that has brought us to this level.
You said something?
Yes, we convert our local rice
to foreign rice standard. Okay, you were saying something.
So I think what I would say is that sometimes when we are talking about policy, let's look at what is feasible. Buhari did it. It's not helping us, because when the case is like you need 50 bags of rice to eat in Ilorin every day, and you can produce 10. So we don't strengthen the existing system to be able to meet up. Their policy will lead to scarcity and crisis. So part of what we can do is to say, okay, like to the extent of what I know in terms of working with farmer in cluster like rice farmer, giving them input, XYZ, that government has been doing. They need to improve more on it and also bring different stakeholders on it. So it is implementation issue that we have. A system policy that we have is still okay to a certain extent. So if all stakeholders are involved in implementation, there's no how somebody will miss out.
And coupled with that, I think the same thing will spiral into this organic and, transiting from synthetic chemicals inputs into organic. Because what is the current capacity, local capacity, production capacity of organic inputs compared to the fertilizers that we're talking about? So we will need government intervention in ensuring that the local capacity in production of organic inputs are increased, are enhanced, so as to meet our, day-to-day needs. I think it's the same thing. It's about input and output. So let's proceed to the next question. To the next paper. Are we together?
So because of time, let's.
This is 6, Abi?
Yes. So we look at this. Look at the introduction. Then let's go and review the recommendation.
All right. Designing inclusive and climate-sensitive social protection systems in KWARA State. Designing inclusive and climate-sensitive social protection systems in KWARA State. We understand what we mean by climate-sensitive, a social protection system. Right? So basically, there are systems put in place to address poverty, among the grassroots, among the local people. All right? So let us look at, we have the policy implications. Where are the questions? Is it still the questions?
The same question.
It's still
The same question.
Quickly go through this.
So we still need to go through it.
Not everything. Go through the recommendation so that.
Where's the recommendation? No, we just have implications here. We have implications here. We have issues and evidence here. So let's quickly go through the evidence. Are we together?
Evidence.
Yes, that here.
Second page.
The palm tree study reveals significant gaps in access to social protection. There is a gap. All right? In KWARA State, approximately 56.4% of respondents reported never receiving any form of government support. Wow. 56.4%. Okay? While only a small proportion reported access to assistance, we already see a problem and a solution there. Okay? Okay, this indicates a substantial exclusion of vulnerable population from existing programs, okay? The program further shows that vulnerability is not evenly distributed. Yeah. Groups most affected include women and female-aided households, elderly persons, persons with disabilities, children and pregnant women, including the youths, pastoralists and marginalized communities. This group experience higher exposure to climate risk, all right, and lower adaptive capacity due to limited access to resources, information, and social network. Climate shocks have multidimensional impacts, including crop failure, income loss, food insecurity, and displacement. These impacts reinforce each other, creating cycles of vulnerability and poverty. The study also highlights reliance on informal coping mechanisms such as family support and community assistance, which are often insufficient during large-scale shock, just like the drought that was experienced in 2024-2025. Okay, these findings are consistent with global evidence indicating that climate change disproportionately affects vulnerable populations and requires targeted social protection interventions like we have in IPCC 2022, World Bank 2021 report. Okay? Back to our question, because I just don't want to keep reading. So we are still going to repeat the question here. Yes. So how can we strengthen the resilience now? Number one, what are the major problems affecting food security and livelihood and vulnerable according to this topic, designing inclusive and climate-sensitive social protection systems? So there are some category of people here that was mentioned: pregnant women, female-headed household, right? The youth, which was not even captured here. We have youth in agriculture, okay? Majority of them, if they don't belong to one association or one whatever, AFAN and the likes. If you check AFAN today, majority of those that are even there are politicians. You understand? So some of these youths or some people, once they get there and they smell this political whatever, they leave. And once they leave, they are already excluded in whatever opportunity that comes to them, during that, in that settings, okay? So now, that is, you want to say something, sir? Okay? So that is one of the problems that is we are having, disproportionality. So what do we recommend? We have identified that we have series of groups that are not benefiting from these interventions. So what do we recommend?
So that formation of cooperative is very, very important. At least when they are into one or two cooperatives, at least whenever any benefit comes to the community, they should benefit from it. Or door-to-door distribution.
Door-to-door distribution?
Door-to-door will not
It cannot work.
That is a true what's it called, cooperative now?
I think let me just recap what you said is that the existing cooperative
We have less than 20 minutes.
should be formalized, and also expression of interest, even be ahead of distribution, should be done either at the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock Development, KWARA, different organs of government that are using to do all this support structure. People should come together in that cooperative so that by the time the implementation have to be done, then Ministry of Youth, Women Affairs, Social Development, Agriculture, Rural Development.
If we have
livestock.
If we have seen and confirmed that majority of this program are politically influenced, how can we navigate through this? Because it's still not getting to some ends. This fertilizer we are talking about, we have quite a number of people that collected it, still using this kind of suggestions, and it does not still get to...
Because of our time, let me quickly say this. You see, the fact is that the set of leaders we have is a reflection of ourselves. You and I, of course, you are stakeholder in this sector. You agree with me that the AFAM or the established structure that government is supposed to leverage on for implementation have been taken over by politicians. But you also agree with me that in the last 2-3 years, based on commissioner in the state, she ensured that any intervention, input distribution, even to the local government level, rice palliative to the local government level, they bring stakeholders and ensure that the project was executed. So we've been having fancy policy. So I think what has worked in KWARA State is this. Both for rice distribution, for input distribution in the last 3-4 years, the commissioner invited people, come and submit cooperative, come and submit letter. Case by case at the submit letter, you don't need to know anybody in KWARA State. They get that support. So AFAM also are part of it, rice farmer are also part of it, different people like that. So if holistically, if we allow people to express interest, I can confirm to you that it works. Even for the senator's office, people go and submit expression of interest. You don't need to be a member of APC. You get support. So if we allow people to submit expression of interest, looking at different MDA that are existing, then we collate it. I'm aware there are programs that ADP collected cooperative list and they gave it to the former rep, Kukolododo, and he called them and distribute input. So I think it's all about intentionality of collation of people that when it comes to support livelihood, leave politics aside, expression of interest, then you don't need to know anybody.
Okay, I think that is well said. The truth of the matter, politicians or no politician, they are still community people. All right? So, and I think what also has worked in KWARA State is that these programs that we are referencing, the commissioner, especially the commissioner of agriculture, back then have a very good integration of CSOs and NGOs. We understand that NGOs are apolitical, so they can be APC or PDP or what have you. So the people they are directly dealing with are people, they are not coming on the guise of any political structure. So they are directly dealing with people. And for the fact that NGOs have that structures already that are often being checkmated by development partners, so they are partly, or how will I put it now, averagely dependable compared to other structures that are in place there. So I can say that integration of CSOs and NGOs, not just picking one or two based on whatever interest, integrating them as a kind of, be it for oversight functions or what have you, or be it for monitoring and evaluation, it equally go a long way in ensuring that these things that we put in place by the government is going to actually get to the right people, and is going to actually lead to an improved livelihood for local communities during climate shock. Okay, let's look at the next question. The questions look quite similar. What practical actions should government and stakeholders take to strengthen food systems and social protection? So NGOs are also stakeholders. Farmers are stakeholders. NANS, that is National Association of Nigerian Students, they are stakeholders. PWD, people living with disabilities, their association. And we should equally help those that we know that they have one disability or the other to identify with, be it an organization or a group. Because whichever organization that focuses on PWD will always be writing proposals in their favor. Okay? So if they have exempted themselves, whatever intervention they are bringing might not get into them. So we should also encourage people, the community people, to be a part of a system or a structure. Okay? So what again can we recommend that the government can do, my brother? What again can we recommend for government?
Yes, farmer now.
The practical
government to do for you. So that
from Barutin?
The Nakayama
Is Barutin?
So we've been talking about what government have done. Now, what's the best way as farmer? You want government to all this intervention so that it can reach people in rural community.
They should increase. And then let me just go to pidgin because I'm a farmer.
Okay.
That they should help the farmers to get tools.
Okay.
That is like machines.
Okay.
So that the farmer will go back to mechanized system of farming instead of self-labor. Like that of organic farming system we are talking about. It's not easy for somebody that is used to
chemical
with tea and come back again to start.
It's about system change.
When it comes to implementation, there's no difference between what we are simply saying is that because the chemical is damaging the soil, so you have similar
And
organic
it's
inputs
also entering
that
the seed.
We have similar organic inputs that when you use it you get a result. So two things. Okay.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
I can see the interest and the spirit. You are left just with I'm sorry for the disturbance. You are left with just 15 minutes. Try to harmonize.
15 minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
So try to harmonize
One is
your
running.
view, your thought,
So
your presentation. Thank you. Sorry for
increase agri mechanization, tractor and implements to support so that they can do
Okay.
more. Then organic input.
Who is putting that down? We have put that down already, ba?
I like that.
Okay. Is there any specific thing we are to recommend in this phase of social conflicts that is ongoing, especially in KWARA State? Are we together?
Community policing.
Are we together?
All of them.
Because whatever we put in place, without that factor, everything is a waste. Okay? And I also want to recommend whatever investment, be it the government or the development partners are putting in place, which I will also recommend for this program. There should be an aspect of insurance, because I appreciate this project in the sense that it is not just research, because it is being handled by research institutes and the likes. Okay, there is implementation part of it, so some investment has gone into it. So it implies that if there is a form of insurgency, apart from climate shock now, just the way we have this social conflict all over, it means if there is no insurance for any of these investments, it has gone down the drain. So there is no how it will yield results. Is that correct? So I think that is one key thing that we really need to include as well. Okay?
Yes, beyond insurance, I think you can also look at the framing of community-led, because and that speaks to village saving. For instance, if based on my own funding, any either from development partner or government, whatever support community received, they trivialize it, they take it for granted. Now, part of approach should be any intervention, government or private sector or NGO should design a sustainability model. What am I saying by this? If, for instance, you got an intervention from maybe senator or rep, because these are what senator rep does. They buy tractor and give it to community. They will use that tractor until it got damaged and is free. And when it even got damaged, they will say, come and repair it for us. As small as a solar dryer and other equipment that Nigeria Stock Product Research Institute used to distribute, they'll be calling them to come and repair. So one key thing is that beyond giving farmer in cluster,
Are we writing it, please?
they, whatever intervention they are receiving, there should be payment for utilization. So, for instance, if you have solar borehole now solar is there, at least 1 year, 2 years, there won't be any issue. But if, for instance, to wet an hectare, if you go and buy something outside, it may cost you 10,000. You can just say pay 1,000. This small contribution, by the time you need to repair anything, you have something in the purse to repair. So that a palm tree project from Unilag will not come this year and do solar borehole for you. Next year, when it's 40, you fall down and say it has got damage. As you are using it, from the profit of your farm or whatever, be making little contribution.
Can I get your notes?
So that at the end of the day, when
Your
there's
notes,
need
your
arise
notes.
for maintenance or to repair, from the savings, from the cooperative, from the farmers, from associations that are beneficiary of this thing.
Okay.
Then they'll be able to pick that money.
Let us quickly round up. Thank you very much, everyone. I think part of what we also can inject into this whole recommendations is that the government can develop a kind of subsidized system for farm products, both input and output. For instance, look at this KVV that is being done, this KWARA trade fair that is done for vendors in KWARA State. I think something like that is going to be suitable for agri sector as well, all right? Such that everybody bring their outputs, be it cattle, vegetables or whatever. I think it is already ongoing, okay? And then it is now subsidized such that...
if there's no policy around it, it's not going to be sustainable.
And that is why we are talking about this now. A system that's a sustainable system structure, that it will not just be a tenure thing. It will be a government thing. Those days when the state government distributes books to primary school students, there will not be a picture of any governor. It will be KWARA State government or your state government.
Not for sale.
Not for sale. You understand? So we want that kind of a system in which it will also rub off on the community and the agri sector, such that it's not like, okay, when this particular governor leave the offices, they trash it as if it is nothing, okay? So continuity and a synergetic system will actually go a long way. So I think we can begin to put our points together for presentation now. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I hope we are checking time.
Yes, we are checking time. Please, I need the book. Okay. Wow. We need to.
Maybe that's what you are using. How do you want to do it?
Erratic rain.
Or collect notes from communication. Give her, let her